This is the 7 things to reflect on when you are stuck. There are so many facets to our lives, our daily habits, our structure of how we put things together, that we can forget about little pieces of it, and those things can have really huge impacts on us throughout our days, our lives, and our goals that we're wanting to achieve. So these 7 things are things to kind of analyze about yourself and where you want to go to help you get there a little bit easier and a little bit faster. So I want to first read a quote to you by Tony Robbins. If you do what you have always done, you will get what you have always gotten. So this is kind of highlighting the fact that if we're not changing things that are not helping us, we're going to get the same results over and over and again. So the first thing we need to do is bring attention to what we need to fix so that we can get better. So number 1 is physiology. If you're not in a peak physiology, it's going to reduce everything else in life. And that's because our bodies are our machines that propel us forward. So if we're hurting, for example, or have lack of energy, or are in pain, or are sick, or something like that, we have to first overcome that before we can start moving on to the things that we really want to do. So by getting our body into better shape and better performance, not only from a health perspective, but also a movement perspective. Our lymph system requires us to be moving for it to function. There's no circulatory system within the lymph. It requires the actions of our muscles and our movement around to actually propel the fluids through the body. So our bodies are designed to be moving, and a function of modern life, right? We sit in chairs most of our day. So just a reminder, get up and move. And then focus on how can you improve your physiology as well. Number 2 is identity. These are the certainty or beliefs about yourself. I am statements is a really good clue that it's part of your identity. These could be, I am a father. I am a husband. These words that we use have weight to them. They have momentum built into those words. And those words are going to be how we operate, how we think about things, and our actions that we take. If you use the word I'm a protector versus something negative, let's say, or on the negative side of things, I'm not good enough. I will never succeed. I'll never be better than, say, a parent. Anything that you say with an I am statement probably lives in the world of identity. And this truly controls really all of your outcomes. Like if you say, I'm never going to be good enough to get XYZ job, promotion, level of success, husband, wife, whatever, your mind is going to say, okay, that's our hard set rule. We're not going to allow that to ever become true, so we're going to do everything around it to not let that become true. Because our minds are super powerful, and if we set a rule for it, it doesn't want to be wrong. So it's going to find a way to not make it true. So you have to be very careful on the things that you believe in. Number 3 is beliefs. So these are going to be the rules of the world around you. If you say, for identity, I'm a good person, and you have a belief that money is bad or money is evil, which means if I have money, I am also evil, but I have an identity that says I'm good, so you can't have those two together. So what happens is you're going to do habits that make you reduce money, either by spending it or gambling it away or not being successful in your job so that you don't have a lot of money. So these beliefs and these identities either work in harmony towards your goal or work in disharmony against your goal. So by looking at what our identities and what our beliefs are, we can figure out where problems lie and things that may hold you back or things that may have resistance to getting towards your goals. And then habits. Your identity and belief do create a lot of habits, but also habits are kind of created through life process. And let's say, think to a moment of your morning. Which sock do you put on first? Which shoe do you put on first? These are habits, and habits can have great impact. Do you hit the snooze alarm? Do you take a hot or cold shower? Do you have a morning routine or an evening routine? These will set you up for either success or failure. And the shoe thing is just more of a kind of a joke, but these things really do have huge impacts on your life. So if we can go through our day and say, here's my 100, 200 habits that I have throughout the day, which ones are actually benefiting me? Which ones are just neutral? And which ones are hurting me? Get rid of those that are hurting you, move them into beneficial or at least neutral. And I mean, it's amazing the amount of success you're going to get. For example, if you read 30 minutes a day, if you take a cold shower in the morning or a warm shower at night, so you get better sleep and the cold shower wakes you up. If you drink lemon juice and celery juice, all these things can be super life-changing. And then focus. Focus is all about your intentions. So where you put your focus is where your energy goes. If you focus on a problem, all you think about is how big that problem is. Versus if you just acknowledge the problem and put your energy towards the solution, you can actually come up with some amazing outcomes. Because money, for the most part, success for the most part, comes from solving problems, not finding the problems. And then the last two is emotions. Where's your emotional home? The quality of our life is the quality of our emotions. If you are always happy, if you live in a happy home, your emotional home, your life will generally be happy. And this isn't saying there's not going to be downs and ups, but we're talking about our common home. If you always live in an angry home, you're going to be angry most of the time, or a frustrated home. So kind of identify where you are and which home you live in, and then kind of slowly start shifting that home to somewhere you actually want to live. And the last one is food. If you put the right fuel in your car does well. If you put the bad fuel or dirty fuel, your car doesn't do so well. Human body is the exact same way. Now, unlike cars, your human body has an amazing tolerance for bad stuff. But at some point, it will start breaking down because of it. So we just need to watch what we're putting in, what's right for you, and it will just make everything better. And that kind of goes back a little bit to physiology. So I hope these 7 tips have helped. Physiology, identity, beliefs, habits, focus, emotions, and food. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What is yours? Love to help you out. And if you need more one-on-one time, I'd be happy to do that with you. Just shoot me a message and we can set that up. Otherwise, love you. Have a good night.